Hey everybody, this is Lisa and Elijah. Welcome to my YouTube channel and the video. Today we've got an expert, Elijah again. Elijah Young is 14 years in banking and 5 years in the mortgage industry. So a wealth of experience. So he's going to talk to us today about what not to do when you're just about getting ready to close on your house. And you'd be amazed the stories that we've heard and experienced. So Elijah, give me like the top one right now.
Well, good morning, first of all. Yeah, it's definitely an honor to be here. One of the things that we always are talking about is what not to do when you're trying to either get qualified for a house or as you're in the process of getting a house. You and I talk about this all the time, great stories. We can chat about this all day. The biggest one is credit. I think obviously not doing anything with your credit, not increasing your balances, not trying to get your credit limit increased, not adding any additional credit, and also not closing any credit, because a lot of people don't understand that if you close credit, it can still hurt you in the process of doing a home purchase.
That's wild because you think, okay, well, I'm going to close these accounts because, you know, I've got some accounts that are still open that I don't even know what or where. And you think, oh, well, let me just close that. You know, I'm getting ready to show that I'm able to purchase a big purchase, a house, obviously. And so it makes sense that you think I'm just going to go ahead and close it, but don't.
Yeah, you would think it would help, but a lot of times if we're running any credit updates or any supplements on the back end, we see accounts closed, we have to go and paper trail everything. So we have to figure out what happened, why it happened, those types of things. And it just kind of adds to the process. You know, obviously we think about opening new credit, and that can definitely change your qualification in general. And ideally, we don't want to do anything with credit as we're going through that process.
Right. What's another big one?
Changing jobs is a big one, actually. A lot of people think, oh, I'm changing jobs, no big deal, I'm making the same amount of money. Again, you know, we have to paper trail everything. And the biggest thing that we look at is, when did they change jobs? Employment stability is a huge question we have to answer when we're going through the process of qualifying for somebody and also closing on a loan, because we have to verify employment. There have been instances where people will change their jobs a week or two prior to closing on their home, and we call their previous employer and they say, oh, they're not here anymore. And that can definitely cause you to be disqualified for your loan. So definitely keep the loan officers updated, your agent updated at any point if employment is in question, whether you're changing, and even if you're upgrading jobs, because that could also change your qualification as well to help you in purchasing a larger home or a better home if you'd like.
I've heard, tell me if this is true or not, I've heard that if it's in the same industry, it's probably not that big a deal, but let's say that you're changing industries. I've heard that could be detrimental during the loan process or the closing process of a home.
It definitely can be. Yes, that's very true. You know, if you're changing industries in an entirety, you know, say you're going from social work over to maybe doing maybe program management work, kind of seems similar in the eyes of how much kind of work you're doing, but it's not, you know, it could be completely different industries. So when you do those types of things, again, one of the things that we look at is the stability of employment. And if you're changing jobs and we're seeing that you're, you know, changing industries, that could become a question if there are other risk factors going into your loan. So again, making sure that everyone's informed, because your loan officer and your agent can put a plan together to make sure that that move is seamless, and that you don't miss out on purchasing your home or having to wait. The biggest thing we see when you are changing jobs is the type of pay that you're receiving. Many people will go from a W-2 job and over to a commission job, and that changes the structure of what your income looks like. And so that can be very detrimental to you changing and losing your loan. And same thing goes for going from commission over to W-2 as well. So salaries, hourlies, all those wages are treated differently.
Okay, great. What's another one that you've seen?
A lot of people will shift money around. You know, they'll have
money laundering going on here.
Think of us haven't run into that, but the biggest thing that we see with shifting money around is people pulling money either from an investment account, a 401k account, a savings account they didn't inform us about. You know, the biggest thing that we look at is full disclosure. You know, as loan officers and agents, we just want to make sure that we go in and dive deep. But as our clients, we want to make sure that you share that information with us, because if money pops up from somewhere we've never seen or heard of, we definitely have to account for it. So moving money from, you know, say a savings account that you didn't expect to touch, and then bringing it over to help close on your home, that can, you know, cause a lot of extra paperwork and a lot of additional, you know, stress and headaches as you're going through the process. So if you're going to move any money, again, please advise your agent as well as your loan officer, make sure that once the money's been moved, or if it's going to be moved, we can go ahead and track all that.
Great, that sounds good. Well, we'll get into the story in a minute, but go ahead. What's your next top one?
Uh, Really, the other thing is exaggerating income. I think we see or under valuing your own income. It's amazing. A lot of people don't understand how much they actually get paid. And as we go through the loan process, we are able to use your gross income. So what you walk away with on your paycheck every 2 weeks or however often you get paid isn't your true income that we use to provide you with your qualifications. So we do take your gross income and understanding what that looks like on your end. I know we all look at our paycheck and we're like, yep, that's what I got, let's go. But we don't account for all the deductions that were made prior to that. And we are able to include the actual gross income to be able to get you qualified. So when you do want to go ahead and get a loan, obviously provide your income documentation, your pay stubs, W-2s, those types of things to the loan officer so that we can evaluate that with and for you so that we can get you the best possible qualification to get you into a home.
All right, cool. And that was 4. Let's go ahead and round it out and do 5. What's another big one?
The last thing that I kind of run into quite often, which is, I know it sounds funny, but as loan officers and agents, we want to get people into a home and provide them with the best service possible. But at the end of the day, it's all about the buyer, of course. And so being from finance and being in it for 14 years and now in the loans, I see a lot of people that overextend themselves. And so only you as a client know your budget. And for us as agents and loan officers, again, we want you to have full transparency so that we can share with you the ins and outs and the benefits of purchasing at the price that you're looking at. But we do see a lot of people that overextend themselves, both on credit that they already have, but also when they go to buy a house. So we want to make sure that we work with people, give them the best advice that benefits them the most, but to put them in a position where they're not going to be, I say, house poor. You may want to push to get into a house and put yourself in a position where now you own something, but you don't want it to be detrimental to your finances.
Have you ever had anybody during the, when you go under contract and you're in the escrow phase, which typically lasts 30 days, give or take, depending. But have you ever had anybody like they're so excited that they're like, yay, and they call the agent, me, and they're like, can we get in the house? We need to measure. And I'm like, you need to measure? I don't really say, well, what are you measuring? But
Right.
I go to the house, we open it, and they're measuring and writing down stuff. Well, they're measuring because 2 things. They have a piece of furniture that they have an idea where they want to put it. They want to make sure it fits.
Mhm.
Or they've been to the furniture store and they have picked out their furniture that they are going to bring to their house that they're about to purchase. So they buy a house full of furniture. So what are your thoughts about that during or getting ready to close on this house and getting the loan, get ready to, fund for the home?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of people will be very excited, which is rightful and true, to be able to get into a home. Everything's going well. We've gone through the appraisal, we've gone through the inspection, we're nearing the close, and they're just wanting to be ready and planned to get in time. And so obviously when you get a new home, you want to furnish it and make it the way that you really like it, whether it's putting up pictures or getting a new living room set or something like that. But again, for us on the representation side, it's tough for us to kind of bite our tongue and let that happen, because if number one, if your finances change, that could be a very big downfall to getting qualified if we're needing the funds to get you closed, or if we see a huge credit increase on a credit card, we have to adjust for those things as we get to closing. Also, if you're getting into a new house, obviously budgeting is huge, but at the end of the day, that's not really your house until you close. And so getting all that stuff and buying it prior, things can happen, unfortunately, at the end of a loan process. Things can happen to the seller, things can happen on the buyer side. And unfortunately, best advice would be not to want to go collect all that stuff or buy it all prior to moving in. It just can be detrimental, again, like I said, to your loan process, but also put you in a position where you have furniture and maybe not even a house at the end. So, really those types of things, for that 30 days, we really say sit tight. I know it's really, really hard to do so. We get calls, a week before closing where they're like, should I turn the water in my name? Should I put the electric in my name?
Oh, right.
We're like, please don't, because the house isn't yours just yet. So we don't want you to jump the gun. Myself and Lisa, as your trusted advisors, will help you through that process and make sure that all gets done in time so that you don't move in, don't have electric, don't have water. It actually happens pretty quick. So doing it that far in advance really is not necessary. But again, it's full transparency. Everything that you're doing through your loan process, through your home buying process, myself, Lisa, are here to help. give you updates and keep you on track and communicate all those things that are happening. But again, on your end, just be transparent. It's just very tough when we don't get, drop something on us at the last minute.
Oh, the stories. That is so true. Well, thanks so much, Elijah, for sharing these best practices of this time, what not to do when you're getting ready to close on your house. It is a very exciting time. We love helping be a part of that. So if you have any questions, make sure that you put them in the comments below. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. And we're always here to help and answer questions. So thanks so much for being my guest, Elijah. It was great.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Always an honor.
Great.